Good morning. I hope you can hear me okay. Give me a wave, give me a thumbs up, give me some comments if you can hear this okay. I really hope this is working. It's the first time we are streaming. Yes, it's the first time that we're using a brand new platform called OneStream, which is incredible because it enables you to go live across multiple different platforms at one time, which is awesome for you because it gives you more traction, more exposure without you feeling like you're jumping from platform to platform and you feel like your social media is absorbing your time. So I just wanted to do a massive welcome to all our new members in our Grow and Scale workshop. This week, we kick off on an amazing journey together to grow and scale your gym, your studio, and your classes. Before we get into building you, the entrepreneur, and building you, the CEO, which is what today's live is and training is all about as we begin our workshop, I wanted just to share with you a little bit about my background, a little bit about my experience so that you know who you're learning from, who's hosting the workshop this week. I think it's always really important to know this because I know when I'm working with other mentors, I really want to know their experience and why they're in the best position to help me move forwards in my business. So without further ado, my name's Katie Cannon. I'm the founder of Gold Medal Business, and I have been in the gymnastic and class-based industry for a long time. Starting my career at 4 years old as a gymnast, went on to become a British champion 5 times. I did worlds, I did Europeans, I got a degree in sports science and nutrition, and then started my first business as a personal trainer when I was 22 and after graduating from university. But prior to that, I was already having so much experience in the industry of the children's market. So I started school gyms and working with primary schools at the age of 18 to support my studies while I was working and while I was studying. And very much that's where my first part of my journey started. That's where my journey very much started with taking steps forwards, really building my experience in what I wanted to do, which was building gyms and studios and being in the children's industry market. And fast forward 18 years, I then went on to build multiple different gyms and different classes. I've had multiple bits of experience, whether it's in schools, whether it's in village halls, whether it's having our own facilities, whether it's having leisure centres, you name it, I've done it. I've worked out what really works and what doesn't. What are your key methods? What are your key operations? What are your key pillars that you need in your business to not only build a business that can survive with you and without you, but that it's a business that is going to continually to thrive, that is going to give you the skills and the systems to be in the business and out the business, to build that thriving team that you've always dreamed about. I always get so many questions from studio and gym owners and class-based businesses all the time on, Katie, I just need some help with finding good team members. Believe me, I've been there, I've done that. I'm still in the field today. That's why I always get so excited. You'll feel my passion this week of when I'm helping you, I'm holding your hand and nurturing you, because I'm not only been there, done it, I'm still in the field. All my coaching is very authentic to what's working today and what has worked in the past. I still have centers. I still have multiple members of staff that I'm dealing with on a day-to-day basis. So anything that you need this week, as I said, whether it is to build a team, we're going to cover building a thriving team. We're going to cover systems. We're going to build marketing your business. So if you're thinking, how do I get new students through the door? Do not miss a thing because we are covering every angle of this. You're going to learn the whole purpose of this workshop this week is to really really set you up for success, to transition you from maybe you're got a passion at the minute and you're wanting to get started with your business, or maybe you're already running a successful business, but you need to be you, the entrepreneur turned CEO. You need to turn into what you're doing and build it into an empire. You're wanting to really split that up across your business and really start to define the parts of your business. So wherever stage you're at, whether you've got 10 students or you've got 1,000, There is something in this workshop for you this week that is going to help you grow your business and scale your business. So without further ado, pop a chat, comment, pop it in the box. I want to know exactly what stage of business that you're at this point. Please let me know how many students you've got, whether you're running dance classes, football classes for children, gymnastic classes for children. Let me know. The more that you share, the more that I can support and help you further. If you haven't got your workbook yet, you have a great workbook attached to your email that we sent you. Please print that out, have it next to you. Literally, you don't want to be having that workbook literally on the computer, so you're listening and you're trying to write. Print it out, take time. The best way that you are going to learn the best you can during our time together is to literally have it right next to you. Take time for you this week to breathe and to learn and to be present. I don't care, have your videos on. I don't care if you're in your pajamas. We have a global audience, so I really don't care where you're at. Be present, take time for you, because it starts and ends with you. You have to build you, the CEO, you, the business owner, first. For some weird reason in this industry, and I remember coming out of uni and going, I'm all good, thanks. I don't want to study anymore. I just want to read biographies. I love a biography. Put a comment in the box if you love a biography. Love a biography. Little did I know, this was when my personal development was really going to start to take shape. This is when my personal development and my learning journey was only just starting. Surrounding yourself with a community is the most powerful thing you can do. Think of yourself, we're all in the coaching market. You don't walk through the gym and expect on day one of your journey to do a backflip. You don't, do you? You're going to maybe learn a bunny hop, then you're going to learn a forward roll. Or in the dancing world, or you're going to learn to do pointed toes before you're doing point. There's a big learning curve. It's not happening overnight, and business is no different. You have to have the support around you. You have to have the support of people that have been there, done it, and got the t-shirt. And you're in exactly the right place because you're showing up for success for that. And for some reason, in this industry, I see so many people trying to do it by themselves, trying to cookie cutter it, which then it takes 5 years longer than it should. Believe me, I've done it. And that was one of the biggest reasons that I created Gold Medal Business, to support the activity children's market. Because I was like, we need to stop this. I know on my journey, I've wasted so much time because I haven't understood what to do. I didn't have mentors around me in this particular industry. So use this time together to completely absorb yourself. Get as much feedback as possible. If you haven't booked your concierge call yet, do it. I'll pop the link at the end into the Facebook Live for you. But do it. Get the support you need from our growth strategists. Get the support. They're specially trained in this arena. So whether you're wanting to build more clients, whether you're wanting to scale, whether you're wanting to build your first premises, they can support you. So let's get started today. Today is all about building you, the CEO. And one reason this is so important, you want to create, whether you're day one of your business or 20 years down the line, you're wanting to create a business that at some point can grow without you. Otherwise, you've built a job. You don't want to, maybe, unless it's still your passion and you absolutely love to do this part of the business, you don't want to be still teaching on day one of your business and still teaching 60 years down the line, because your business hasn't evolved. You need to have the skills to really be able to take you from the business owner, take your business from a passion, to you, the business owner, to you, the CEO. You have got to learn from day one that you need to be a CEO. You need to have that CEO hat on so that you can learn to delegate out to other members in your team and to start building that thriving team. This section today is going to give you the tools to do this. I've talked through on why this is so important to build you the entrepreneur, to build you the CEO. If you don't do this, you will end up burnt out. You will end up hating your business, and you will feel like you've made zero progress. You will feel like at times your business hasn't moved forward because you haven't put other people in positions. So you're stagnant. You're losing interest in your business. And therefore, you feel like the growth of your business doesn't do this, it does this, because you're not breathing into yourself and continually developing yourself. I take my role as the CEO in all my companies incredibly, incredibly important. It's my role to learn the quickest, to implement the quickest, and to be the most productive. Why? You don't want to bottleneck your company. The quicker that I learn, the quicker that I bring in opportunities, the quicker we grow, the quicker my team grows, because I'm always giving more opportunities to them. I'm always developing them. So if you're thinking, my team are always leaving me, I cannot find the right caliber of person, it's because two things. One, you may not have done the interview process correctly and brought them into your company the correct way. I'm not going on to that yet. That's day 3. Or the big one, you haven't created opportunities for them big enough for them to want to stay. I have an amazing centre manager at one of these. She's phenomenal. And I know to my core that if I don't have another opportunity for her in like 18 months, 2 years time, she may start to get bored in her position because she's thinking like that. That's why I wanted her in my organization, because she's a leader. She's got a vision. She's wicked with the children. She's wicked at leading that team. And if you want those kind of people in your organization, you need to create more opportunities for them. And to do that, you've got to be constantly growing, constantly learning, and constantly bringing in those new, brand new opportunities for them. So that is why your job at building you the CEO is about leadership, is about your vision. Your business will rise and fall on your leadership. I'm going to say that again. It's going to rise and fall on your leadership, 1 billion%. And if you're not constantly growing you, at some point it's going to dip. Okay, so it's always, always, always growing you and focusing on building your business. You are your best asset in your business. So we focused on why it's important to build you, the entrepreneur. I now want to move on to how you start to set your organization up from a goal standpoint and how you don't become overwhelmed at building you, the CEO. So often I see people pulling like that, and I've dealt with this myself many, many times, where I constantly feel incredibly overwhelmed. You've got multiple different things pulling you in different directions. And the reality is it's just having the right mindset as the CEO and the right tools in place to make sure you can bring yourself through those stages. So when you've got all of that in place, I want to teach you a couple of things that we do within our classes to make sure the whole team are on one path and are all singing to the same song sheet. We have a 1-page strategic plan that we all do. I sit with my whole team and we plan it out at the beginning of the year. If you need access to our 1-page strategic plan, please drop a comment below and we will absolutely get that across to you. Now, the 1-page strategic plan covers everything. What do you want to achieve financially? How many students do you want within your classes? What does your team look like this year? What personal development are you doing this year and to grow you? When you've got those key things in place for your business, you're not feeling like you're juggling 1,101 balls in the air. You do not want to have more than 2. It used to be 3, but I now say 2. You don't want more than 2 focuses for your year. What's going to create tremendous overwhelm is having multiple things going on at multiple different times. You will find there was a point about 9 or 10 years ago. I remember I had my flat at the time. It might have been longer. because I hadn't moved in with my now other half, and my 7-year-old, she's 7, so had no children. I think it's about 12 years ago. And I remember having like a massive vision board, okay? And this vision board, I put a lot of effort and time into this vision board. It was beautiful, it was amazing. But do you know what? There was too much on it. And I wondered why. At the end of the year, I'd achieved like one thing because I was so overwhelmed and I was stretched in so many different directions. Now, I'm not saying I'm a multi-entrepreneur. I have different businesses. But what many people do is they grow one business, then build another one. This is what I did. I thought, I've got one business running, let's start another one. But what I didn't have is all the core processes and what I'm teaching you this week in place. That's when I look back at why some of my gyms failed and I had to close premises down. It's exactly this reason. At the time, I couldn't see the wood through the trees. I couldn't see what had gone wrong. Looking back now, I didn't have the team in place. I didn't have the systems in place. They were the biggest and most expensive lessons of my career, but I wouldn't be where I am now without those. So you always want to bring it back. What is the one-page vision? What are you achieving this year as you, the CEO? What do you want to achieve? As said, first of all, you come up with your 2 core goals. Normally, your big one goal, let's say 500 students within your center. Normally, that's then attached to a finance goal. Your finance goal is relative to that. So that is your one goal. The finance goal doesn't always have to come under another goal. So you may have fill up the current center you've got and maybe introduce a brand new program into your center. Those 2 new massive goals, your team are going to support that, and so as your finance. So building a team, say finding your first receptionist, may not be your one key goal for the year, but it's a key performance indicator you need to achieve those students. You can't have 500 students with no one helping you on the phones. If you do, you're not going to have a life and you're going to be exhausted. And believe me, you will come to me in 6 months to a year time, utterly burnt out. But again, I'm talking about teams and pillars later on in the week. So you've got your one-page plan. You're then breaking it right down. So what we do as a team, we literally get our one-page plan. Everybody's on the go. We have quarterly meetings and monthly meetings, and we're literally breaking that down. We're going, right, so this is our yearly plan. What do we need to do this quarter? Not for the rest of the year. You remember, we're not being overwhelmed. We're keeping the focus. What do I need to do for this quarter to enable that one-page plan to come to fruition? So that may be, right, if our goal is 500 students, and let's say we're on 300, okay, we need to be at like 350, 360 students within this quarter. Who do I need to, that team member that I want to employ, do they need to come into quarter 1, or do I need to bring them in to the second quarter of the year? If you haven't got a salesperson working in your team, they need to be quarter 1 because that's a priority. You can't be hitting student numbers. Remember, I always want you to employ before you're ready. You never want to employ when you're so exhausted and the systems are everywhere and the phones are ringing off the hook to then bring that new person in. Always employ before you need them so they can grow into the role. That's the biggest thing. Building a thriving team, people get desperate. They're bringing them in. You're not training them quick enough because you're too exhausted and too busy for that person. You need to bring them before you're ready. So you're looking at the yearly plan. You're then looking at your quarterly plan. Then chunk that right down again. What is the monthly plan? What do you need to achieve that monthly to then achieve that quarterly one goal? We have monthly and quarterly goal planners. If you need them, pop it in the comment and I will get my team to whiz them, a member of your concierge team, to get them across to you. So that is a way of planning your vision, to have it all out in front of you. And we're approaching, obviously, a new year. Cannot believe it, in about 7 weeks. But we're approaching a new year where you are literally going to be re-looking at this year. And I suggest don't wait till January 1st to do this. Start doing it now. I always start planning my next year now, end of November, beginning of December, because I want to hit January rocking. I don't want to hit January going, let's plan this year. My team are all planning next year, December, we will do that together as a team. I want them having a Christmas break, making sure they've had time out, but knowing when we hit January, this is in place. not spending the first 1 or 2 weeks of January catching up, coming up with air and getting everything in place, because before you know it, it's February. So start planning now. So you've got, your goal, you've got your one page, you've written it into your quarter, you've then got a monthly goal. Then it's really easy from there. Just take your monthly goal and break it down into weeks. What do you need to achieve this week to make sure you're hitting that goal for the month? So if you need any help with this at all, it will take a while. Everybody has their own way of planning. If you have an existing way that you love, then stick with it. But if you're constantly feeling overwhelmed, that you've got 100 million things going around in your head and you don't know what to focus on, and you feel like that's stagnating your growth, get in touch. Let's support you further and make sure in moving forwards, you feel focused so that you have those plans well and truly set up for 2023 and that you're not starting the year on the back foot. So we've covered building you the CEO. We've covered number 2, building your vision and your goals. The CEO of the business knows exactly where they're going. Someone that has not got their CEO hat on may not know what next month looks like in the business, may not know what next quarter looks like, has no clue where they're going in the next 2 years. Would you get in a car without sat nav? I often wonder how we survived without those. We were having a chat, me and my other half, in the car the other day, and I was like, how did we survive without sat navs? And our sat nav was going wrong. And we didn't know where we were going. I was like, I remember printing off AA route planner when I first learned to drive. And obviously, if you took a wrong turning, I didn't have internet on my phone, took a wrong turning, you're stuffed because I'm not near a printer or I can't bring it up. Mad, isn't it? But think of the same as your business. That sounds mad. But just think, many of you are going out without a roadmap into your business and expecting the success that you desire. It wasn't until I really set that plan of action out and got super clear that I started achieving the success that I knew I was capable of. So, 1-page strategic plan, quarter goals, monthly, weekly. Strategic. Get strategic. Remember, it's not a hobby, it's a business. Treat it seriously. So, we've worked on building you the entrepreneur. We've worked on building your vision. Let's now move on to building you and here. Your mindset is everything. What you put into your mind on a daily basis is paramount to your success. How do you do this? You're probably screaming at me, Katie, but my hours are already used up. I'm exhausted. I'm working so many different hours, you may be full-time in a business, running your business, full-time in a job, part-time on your business. I'm going to give you some tools that you can build you every day without it feeling like an utter chore. There's not a day goes past that I'm not building me, the entrepreneur. Not because I see it as a chore, but because I actually really enjoy it now. If I go on a holiday without a good book, like a business book to read, I feel like very rarely with the kids I get any time to read anyway, but I really miss it. I really enjoy building me because I see the benefits of it. And my wish for you, I would love for you to get yourself in that place that you're really enjoying the process. So you have got a couple of options. My personal development happens in the morning, and I highly recommend the morning time because you're fresh. It's the first thing that gets done, and there's no excuses. Do it before the kids. If you've got kids, do it before the family wakes up. Do your personal development between sort of 6 and 7 or 5 to 6. I personally cannot get up at 5 o'clock. I've tried many times and I fail every time. I need to be in bed for like 9 if that's going to happen, which never happens. So for me, my magic time is 6 o'clock. And what I used to literally get up and would sit and work on a particular subject. I would read a particular book, maybe on sales training or leadership, growing your team. I would then do my exercise. So I'd do 20 minutes and then reading, 20 minutes exercise, then 20 minutes kind of journaling affirmations, just getting your thoughts down on paper. I have also, since then, that's called almost like a miracle morning. There's actually a book called Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. Great book. I recommend get your hands on it. I've tweaked my miracle morning slightly because I go to the gym during that time. But what I do is I headphones on all the time when I'm in the gym. I'm a runner. I love doing cardio in the morning. I don't do it every single morning, but if I'm doing cardio or I'm doing weights, I've got my earphones on constantly. I have my trainings that I've got to listen to, all my audiobooks in my ears all the time. That has been my way of fitting in my exercise with my learning at the same time. Because prior children, I could do it easily. But when I was then juggling morning routines, I found it slipped. So that was my way of fitting both in. I then, before I do the gym, will do a bit of journaling, write my goals down, and get my affirmations done. I'll talk about affirmations in a minute. But that way, you've worked your body and you've worked your mind at the same time. For me, when I'm exercising, I only used to be able to exercise to music, but now I can exercise to people talking, people listening. And with that, I found I could then chunk it in my day better, but I come up with my best ideas when I'm exercising. So often I have my notepad on my phone. I will often be seeing, if someone's watching me behind, I think, what on earth I'm doing? I will be running. I will then stop, put my legs either side on the treadmill, think and go, I need to action that. Get my phone out. Within 10 seconds, I've written down something. I need to action that, and then I get back running. So within that, you've fitted in your exercise and you fitted in your learning. Throughout the day, you could be doing your affirmations. People might look at you a bit strange, so remember to do them in the right places. But remember, your affirmations are fixed with your goals. I used to think this was an absolute load of crap, to be honest. I really, really did, but it really, really works. Your affirmations are I am statements. I am achieving 10,000 a month. I have 500 students within my classes. I have a thriving team. I have employed a fantastic sales manager. I am my strongest, fittest self. You see, not I want to, I'm going to try. I am, I have achieved. By putting those statements down in front of you, you know every day you're putting them out to the universe. You're saying them. I have them recorded on my phone that every now and again I'll play, I will recite if I'm in the car, if I'm walking. I am statements, I am statements, I am. And as I said, I used to utterly hate it. I used to think it was a load of rubbish. But when you combine that with your learning, with your exercise, and writing out your goals, you will find it will all start coming together. You will become more clear. You will become more focused because you'll realize that you don't need zillions of things to do, to set yourself for goals to achieve the one goal that you're trying to achieve. So you're going to pull that all together. When you're really building you, the entrepreneur, it starts with why this is so important and why this is 100% building you is the trajectory. That's a tricky word, isn't it? Trajectory. I said it. Trajectory of your business. Love it. That is why the trajectory of your business is going to go in a whole different way. Do you ever feel like sometimes you look at many other people and you're like, why are they achieving that? Why am I not achieving that? Why are they where I'm just like them though? Why is it good luck? What are they doing? And quite often it's not what they're doing, it's how they're leading their business. It's how their thoughts, it's how they're talking to their team, it's the strategies they're putting in place. Because it all starts from here. So I'm going to leave you with that. I want you to really focus today on building. You're in the best community. You're surrounded by the best entrepreneurs. Utilize the experience. Utilize the knowledge that you've got in this group. You are the average of the first 5 people that you surround yourself. Have a little look who you're hanging out with. Who are you learning from? Who are you taking advice from? If you're asking people who have never run a business advice, please don't, because you're not going to get the answer you want, and they'll probably send you in a whole nother down rabbit hole that will take you another year to get out of. Absorb the community. Use the people around you. Maximize the experience that you've got and really start to focus on building you, the entrepreneur. Because, my friend, if you really put this into action, you're going to really benefit from the next 4 days of training. You have to have this point in place first to then start moving yourself forwards. So have an amazing day. Thank you so much for joining me on day 1 building you, the CEO, as a sport and activity industry expert, as you are. Make that a priority. I will see you tomorrow, and remember, if you haven't booked your concierge call, I'll pop the links below this video for you. Get in action and get the support you need. Mwah. Have an amazing day.